ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the week in preview. I guess I should say welcome back because we had a bye week. I almost never miss the week in preview. It's pretty much almost every single week consistently, but this last week there was not one. Why? It was because I was covering E3 stuff. I did not have time to film one. I knew I wasn't going to have time to film one, which is why 2 weeks ago, that episode of the week in preview actually covered 2 weeks span, okay? So welcome back, everyone. I'm DSP. Today is June 17th, 2018, and it's time to cover about a week's time. We're going to do a normal week in preview this week where we don't go too far ahead into the future, although honestly it would be possible because I know pretty much what I'm doing between now and the end of the month. But for the sake of fairness, let's just cover 1 week this week and go from there. Okay, so this last week was pretty crazy. All right, I finished all my E3 coverage, including covering all the major 6 press conferences. I started up my Jurassic World Evolution playthrough, right? An RTS, not RTS, wow. A simulation style game where you make a Jurassic World theme park, right? And I've been doing really well. I played 2 sessions, 8 hours of gameplay. I've beaten 3 out of the 5 islands in the game, in the campaign of the game, and I've really enjoyed doing it. And in general, people seem to really like that playthrough because it's something refreshing and different, okay? In addition, I played through the entirety of Unravel 2. That's right. Unravel had a surprise sequel that was released this last week. I played the entire story, and I did some of the optional challenges in that. I played some H1Z1. I played some Street Fighter to get some variety in. And then last but not least, of course, I started up my Half-Life 2 playthrough, which is the Patron's Choice. It was actually a month ago, I want to say. No, actually, I believe it was 2 months ago where we hit a subscriber goal on my Twitch channel. And by hitting that subscriber goal, it then allowed people who were patrons of mine in last month to nominate and vote on games that would be the next Patron's Choice playthrough, and the winner was Half-Life 2. And I started that today, and let me tell you guys, I'm actually pretty excited. Reason being, already in this first 4-hour session, I have passed by the parts of Half-Life 2 that I played previously, because I actually tried to play this game 3 times. First, when it was a new release, then later on, as soon as the orange box released, and then a couple months later, I tried to play it again. This was all before I ever did a video for YouTube, so it was always me trying to play the game by myself. And admittedly, I got bored of it. Those early segments where you're in the hovercraft/boat honestly aren't the best, and in reality, they're actually not even representative of what the rest of the game is. Even people even say it's kind of odd that they put those in. It's like they wanted a boat segment and didn't know where to cram it in, and so they just kind of crammed it in at the beginning of the game to get out of the way so you could get to the rest of the game. I got past those today, so I'm in a new story that I've never seen before. I've never played this Half-Life 2, so I did that, and now I'm in the middle of Ravenholm, which is all these infected people. All the head crabs turn them into mutated monsters, and it's a lot of fun using the gravity gun to chuck, big buzz saws at them and chop them in half and stuff. I'm really digging the game. I think it's a great game. I'm no surprise everyone holds that game in high regard collectively, even though the game's 14 years old at this point. People still really love the game. It's kind of funny. 14 years ago, The Incredibles was released, and now The Incredibles 2 came out. 14 years ago, Half-Life 2 was released, and now I'm finally doing a playthrough of it. Kind of a weird conjunction, right? So I really had a blast playing Half-Life 2 today. I did 4 hours of gameplay. It's all live over on DSP Gaming that you can check out right now. Thumbs up, really enjoying myself. That being said, had it up for debate what I should play tomorrow, Monday, but since I had such a good time today, I think tomorrow I'm just going to do more of the same, and tomorrow's going to be me continuing on 4 more hours of Half-Life 2. From what I understand, the game's between 8 and 12 hours long, depending on how you do. I've been doing all right. I certainly haven't been doing terrible and struggling, but at the same time, it certainly hasn't been incredibly easy. There's been some challenge to it. So I would say, who knows? Maybe I'll get pretty far tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Now, here's the other thing. I like this game, and to the point where I have the orange box. That's how I'm playing it, through the orange box, which has both Half-Life 2 as well as Half-Life 2's first and second expansion, Episode 1 and 2. I would not be against, if people are liking Half-Life 2 and actually watching it and enjoying it, playing Episodes 1 and 2 as well. I don't know how long they are, so I honestly don't know how much that would add to the game, with the length of me playing the game, but I would consider it. So let me know if you like the Half-Life 2 stuff I put out so far, and you think maybe, yeah, you would love to see me do episodes 1 and 2, let me know, okay? So tomorrow, Monday, more Half-Life 2 on my first stream. Monday night, I'm going to be playing Vampire again for about 2 hours. Now, this game has now been lingering for 2 weeks, and I have not beaten it, but I'm in Chapter 5 of 7, Supposedly the final chapter is mostly story elaboration / narrative to end the game and is not actual gameplay. So, by all reports, I'm getting close to the end of the game, okay? After 2 more hours on Monday night, we'll see how far we've gotten. Hopefully I can keep progressing, because last time I played, I almost hit a huge difficulty spike roadblock where I couldn't progress, but then I beat what I was stuck on, fighting 2 bosses at once. I was able to progress and fight other tough bosses and level up a bit, so now I'm a lot more effective in combat and the like, okay? So we'll see. We'll see how things go Monday night with Vampire, alright? Tuesday, I am going back to Jurassic World Evolution, starting the 4th of 5 islands. We'll see how that goes. That should be fun. And then Tuesday night, I'm going to play a session of H1Z1, my weekly session, okay? Wednesday, I'll go back to Half-Life 2 to either wrap up the campaign or whatever. You know, people really like Episode 1. Maybe I'll start it, okay? And then Wednesday night, I'm going to be doing more Vampire, 2 more hours of Vampire. And by then, after 4 more hours of gameplay, I'll be able to see how far I am in the game and if I'm going to finish it this week or what, okay? Thursday, probably more Jurassic World Evolution, and I'm thinking if I'm going by the same rate that I've been going, that may be the end of my playthrough, because I might have finished all the islands, okay? And then Thursday night, I want to play a session of Street Fighter this week. What's it going to be? More than likely, it's either going to be Street Fighter Alpha 3 or Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, because those are the 2 games out of the collection. It's been the longest since I've played, so probably one of those games will be played. We'll see. You know, maybe I'll do a poll, see what people want to see, okay? And then on Friday, I know exactly what I'm doing. A new release. Really cool. I'm going to be playing Mario Tennis Aces. And I want to say special thanks to the person who donated Nintendo eShop credits for me to get this game. You will remain nameless unless you actually tell me you want to be known, because you did not say you wanted to shout out or whatever. But I'm getting this game as a result of someone basically donating it. Normally, I would not have played it because, number 1, I'm not too interested in tennis. And number 2, Nintendo games, I don't even make a profit on when I play them on YouTube, because Nintendo claims all the profit. But since I'm getting it for free, I said, you know what, I'll at least play a couple sessions. Let's see how it goes. Some people have been saying that the game looks amazing. So, I don't know. I haven't played a Mario Tennis game in so damn long. This will be quite interesting. And then Friday night, I'll leave it open. Will it be more H1Z1? Will it be Vampire? Will it be Half-Life? Will it be something else? I don't know. Let's leave it open. Let's leave Friday night completely open, and we'll see for ourselves how the week has gone, okay? Saturday's my day off, and then Sunday, we'll figure it out as we get closer to it next week. So, there's going to be more Half-Life 2. There's going to be Vampire, hopefully, continuing and maybe even concluding this week. There's going to be more Jurassic World Evolution. And there's going to be some Street Fighter and H1Z1, and at the end of the week, a new game with Mario Tennis Aces. So another jam-packed week full of fun gameplay content for all of you, and I hope that you will enjoy what you see, whether you watch it live on stream or whether you watch it on demand over on DSP Gaming, okay? Now let's address a few things, because I got some big updates for everyone. First of all, let's talk about patron events, and let's talk about subscriber goal events on Twitch and all of that, because I know a lot of people are really wondering what's going on with all that stuff, okay? So number 1, when it comes to upcoming events, we've got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Grandmaster Challenge. It's now set in stone. I've decided it's going to be the 29th of June, so really it'll be the last thing I do in the month of June, because that Saturday is my day off, the day after. So final thing, what it's going to be is a 7 to 8 hour marathon. I'm going to start around the usual time that I do, alright? And I'm going to be playing the 30th Anniversary Collection of Street Fighter. I'm going to be trying to get through all of the arcade modes of this game on the hardest difficulty. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Real talk, it's incredibly hard to do. Some of the AI in these games blatantly cheats and does double, triple damage and counter hits and combos they're not supposed to be able to do at all. So we'll see how it goes. But that's going to be interesting to see in that crazy marathon. Will I be able to beat? How many games will I be able to beat in this marathon, right, to end June? It'll definitely be a fun event that everyone, I think, will enjoy, okay? So that's going to be the end of the month. Number 1, that's where that is, okay? As I already told you, I've started my Patron's Choice playthrough of Half-Life 2, and I may do episodes 1 and 2 if people really like the playthrough of the vanilla Half-Life 2, all right? But what about the other event going on, which is a second Patron's Choice playthrough? That's right, because we actually hit a Tier 2 subs goal this month on my Twitch channel. I'm going to be doing the game that came in second place for the Patron's Choice poll, which was Simpsons Hit and Run. Alright, I haven't decided what version I'm playing yet. From what I understand, you could either play it on like an emulated PS2 version digitally over PSN, or I could order the GameCube version and play it on my Wii. So I'm kind of up in the air. I don't know if there's a version of the game that's better. And quite frankly, excuse me, I have not had a chance to do any research or anything on it yet. I don't think I will. I think probably more than likely Simpsons Hit and Run will end up starting probably in July, early July. So really, I don't think right now with Half-Life and everything else I'm doing, I'm going to even have time to get to it. But that will be the next major kind of downtime game for the summer, all right? There is a Rageathon that's going to happen as well, a Rageathon event, another thing that we did for hitting sub goal, right? We had so many people sub this month, so much support. I'm so appreciative. So that event, the Rageathon, is going to take place in early August. Reason being, if you want to get in on that Rageathon, if you want to nominate and vote on rage-filled games that are going to cause me to rage during a marathon, you need to pledge to my Patreon this month. If you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon by the end of the month, you'll be nominating and then voting on games for the Rageathon, all right? But it's going to take the whole month of July for me to get people on the forums upgraded so they'll have the premium status. Then they start nominating games. Then we narrow that down to a poll. Then they start voting. So you see, it's going to take several weeks to even get through that. So probably the Rageathon will happen sometime in early August before we get wrapped up with a ridiculous amount of new releases for the hardcore gaming season. So that covers all the events. Number two, the only other thing I want to cover before we end the weekend preview, I want to talk about Persona 5. Because, ladies and gentlemen, yes, absolutely, I want to play Persona 5 this summer. I want this to be a downtime playthrough that I'm balancing with main games, but also balancing with some of the other downtime stuff I do, like H1Z1 and, Street Fighter and the like. So, how it's going to work is this. Right now, as you know, I'm juggling a bunch of games. Jurassic World, Half-Life 2, and Vampire. Once I start to wrap up those games, there will be a couple that'll take over, like Mario Tennis Aces or whatever. But it looks like by the end of June, things should finally die out. Any games that are kind of lingering will have been completed. And what I'm planning on doing in July is balancing the next Patron's Choice playthrough, which will be, as I said, The Simpsons Hit and Run, with another playthrough. What will it be? I don't know. Maybe it'll be a throwback playthrough like, I don't know, Silent Hill 2, or Mass Effect 2, or, who knows? I don't know. It'll be something like that, something more action-oriented and probably an anniversary-style playthrough. But I'm going to balance that with the continuation of Persona 5. So if you watched my Persona 5 playthrough last year, or you never finished it, it's live. I should mention that. It's now live on DSP Gaming. You can go back and you can watch the Persona 5 playthrough from start to finish in its entirety so that you can actually get caught up on everything going on in that playthrough before I resume it in July, okay? So please do so, because in July, I'm going to jump back in, and from what I'm being told, I've played around 80 hours so far. People are saying probably 20 to 30 more hours for me to beat the game. I'm in like the final third of the game at this point, which I'm excited for. I got to try to remember what the hell the game, what the plot was and where we were in the plot. I'm trying to remember, in particular, where we were. Wasn't it someone died or something? God. I think it was that up to this point, everyone who had a change of heart had basically become good, but someone had a change of heart and ended up dying or killing themselves, and that kind of took everyone aback, like, what the fuck happened? Like, why did that happen? That shouldn't have happened like that. And I guess now the game's about to pick up in a big way. But I wouldn't know because I haven't played the game for a year now because of the Atlas bullshit copyright strikes. So, the good news is, I'm resuming that playthrough in July. So we're going to have a fun July with Simpsons Hit and Run, some kind of a retro playthrough, balanced with Persona 5 continuing, plus some H1Z1, plus some Street Fighter. It's going to be a good start. And then, once I finish Persona 5, which let's say it takes all of July, just for hypothetical, I would consider playing Octopath Traveler. For those who don't know, Octopath Traveler releases on July 13th. The thing is, I cannot commit to it right now because I can't play 2 RPGs at once. I can't play Persona 5 until Vampire is done, okay? So then, once Vampire is done, Persona 5. Once Persona 5 is done, then you can move on to the next RPG, all right? So once, Vampire is done, Persona 5, once that's done, then I'll consider doing Octopath Traveler for this summer, okay? But it has to go on hold until I get through Persona 5 because I got to finish this game. I'm dying to see how it continues and ends because I'm so frustrated that I had to put it on hold last year, all right? So that's a pretty crazy summer. Right now we're listening to a pretty crazy summer. A lot of fun stuff coming up. And I hope that you guys enjoy all my stuff, right, that I'm thinking of putting out. That's just, idea for the next few weeks leading into, late July, August when there may be even more events and stuff going on. But hopefully that sounds good to you. Okay, so we're back on track. Every week now there'll be a weekend preview. I know there was the one bye week last week. We're back on track. There will be a weekend preview every week. And we'll go from there. Sound good, guys? All right, that is it. I want to say thank you guys very much for watching the weekend preview. I certainly hope that you enjoyed it and found it informative. Without further ado, thanks to the following patrons who basically make this possible, allow me to do this full time, and also they're the ones who will be contributing they're the ones who did contribute to the Patron's Choice playthroughs and all of that. So thanks very much to you guys. Remember, pledge $5 or more to my Patreon by the end of this month. You'll be nominating and voting on the games for the Rage-a-thon coming up later this summer. All right. Thank you everyone for your support. Very appreciative. See you tomorrow for brand new games. Peace out. Have a good one.